children, especially children under the age of 11, are still growing, and they're changing. So it's difficult to begin to. I would never suggest to restrict in that age group.
Underweight. How do I handle that with the help of Herbalife? Because every time we see the pediatrician, I feel the judgment. Because my toddler is turning 3, but he's already 35 kilos. And my teenager is borderline underweight. And short of me forcing him to eat and eat, I don't know how to make him just the average weight. Is there anything that you can suggest where I can create a meal plan that would benefit both of them without having to create two diversely different meals for both kids?
That's a great point. First off, children, especially children under the age of 11, are still growing, and they're changing. So it's difficult to begin to. I would never suggest to restrict in that age group, and that's why our products are not specifically aimed for that age group. But on our philosophy, if you follow the philosophy, I think over time you'll see some transformation. First off, we believe in the power of the macronutrients, the preeminence of protein of the three. So getting sufficient protein in our diet does two things. It ensures that our cells get what it needs through the amino acids it delivers, but it also packs a more powerful punch because it satisfies, it reduces hunger, and it has the same amount of calories as carbohydrates on a per gram basis. So 4 calories to 4 calories, but you get a lot bigger benefit in the sense. That's why we suggest around 30% of your diet should be in the form of protein. Okay, so that's one thing. You can just focus on the proteins and reduce the carbohydrates, in the diet. When they do have carbohydrates, we believe in the carbohydrates that give you the thing that we often lack, which is fiber. So if you're going to eat a lot of, I don't want to cast dispersion on any foods, but if you're going to drink a lot of soda, Coca-Colas, I should use a brand, sodas, sweetened drinks, then those are giving you lots of carbohydrates in the form of sugar, but really no nutritional value. We surprisingly get a lot of calories from sweetened drinks. And so cutting that out eventually will change one's taste buds, and they won't even like super sweet stuff all the time. But the carbs in that, so if you're going to have carbs with fiber. So what are carbs with fiber? Well, it wouldn't be any single sweetened drink. It wouldn't be the cakes and the pastries. They have no fiber. It's refined flour. What has the carbohydrates would be whole fruit, vegetables, without all the sauce, because the sauce has fats that aren't needed. So the issue becomes one of taste. But you can figure out interesting ways to make things taste good. So my suggestion is you follow our global nutrition philosophy, which is when you have the carbs, don't eat the carbs that give you very little nutritional value. Give the carbs that give you fiber, and that's going to have to be the whole fruits and vegetables. The other suggestion I would say is that we're a big believer in hydration and exercise. And my own oldest son was made fun of a little bit when he was young, at the age of 2. He didn't even stand up till he was 1, because he was just so big he couldn't push himself up. I mean, he was like an Olympic weightlifter just to be able to get himself up, you know. And then once he got up, he hardly moved. But with a lot of activity, that began to be transformed. So we were a big believer in exercise and activity. So activity would be a great way to incorporate. And then hydration. So now the issue, of course, is one of taste. But if you were to put things that have very little calorie to flavor, or no calories to flavor, you can get a lot of hydration. So hydration can satisfy. The carbs can satisfy through fiber, and the protein can satisfy. So that is part of our global nutrition philosophy, and that would be helpful for both age groups and what's going on.